Good afternoon and welcome to BizTech's Asian Midday Market Watch, powered by the Private Pension Administration of Malaysia, or PPA, which is the central administrator for private retirement schemes. It's Thursday, the 30th of March, and we have our regular guest, David Kuo, founder of the Smart Investor Singapore, as our guest today. David, it's always great to have you on the show.
Yeah, Selamat Tengah Hari, Down Day Thursday.
Well, Selamat Tengah Hari. Hopefully, it's not going to be a down day, but we'll take a look at how the numbers stack up. First, we start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at 28,689. It's up 4.08%. Ethereum is at 1,798. It's up 1.15%. Now, looking across the regional equity markets, we start where you are at, David. The SGX is down 0.32%. Bursa Malaysia is down 0.2%. Shanghai is down 0.22%. The ASX All Ordinaries is up 1.03%. The Nikkei is down 0.79%. The Hang Seng is down 0.43%. But rounding up the numbers, we've got the Kospi, which is up 0.67%. David, your view on how markets have performed in the first half of the day?
Pretty mixed bag, wouldn't you think? I think as far as the markets are concerned, well, most markets, most market watchers are waiting for the latest GDP figures to come out from America, just to see whether or not America has indeed fallen into some kind of recession. But the rest of the market, I think what we can describe it as is a mixed bag, which is generally the case, and which is generally why you need to have a portfolio of stocks all over the place, so that despite being a mixed bag, some will be winners, some will be losers. And for us income investors, as long as you keep on paying those dividends, that's all I care about.
Now, David, I want to shift the focus really to what's really dominating conversations, which is basically China's Boao Forum for Asia, which is on from Tuesday till the end of the week this week. What can we expect from this event, which has been going on for a long time, but is seen as the Asia's version of Davos?
Okay, right. There wasn't a Boao Forum last year because of the pandemic, but it's back in its full force again this time. And I think as far as China is concerned, it's just a PR exercise this particular time. Previously, I mean, people were very interested in seeing what China will do, how China will grow. But this time, I think things are a bit more moderate than previously. And China is using it as a kind of public relations exercise to say, we are open for business. Please bring your money. And look over there. There's Jack Ma. Jack Ma's back again. So therefore, techs are back in favor again. We're not hammering the techs, but just relax and everything will be fine. So my take on it is China has made some pretty glaring mistakes over the last 12 months. And that has shocked a lot of people. And now it realizes that it needs to bring back that foreign investors' money back into China again. Whether it will be able to succeed is a different matter altogether. I mean, I've been watching the news channels, the financial news channels over the last couple of days, and talk about, people coming out and talking up their own books. I mean, there are lots of fund managers out there saying China is the place to be, Asia is the place to be. And so we've got lots of unit trusts, we've got lots of investments. Just bring your money and look at how China has changed. But I think you need to look beneath the surface and work out for yourself whether China has changed or not. It's great to say that Jack Ma is there and that Alibaba is going to be restructuring itself. But what about the other guy, the guy that was arrested a few months ago, a man called Boao Forum? I mean, he was an investment banker who has not been seen yet. And so I think people need to tread a little bit more carefully, and rather than look at the silver lining around the cloud, just realize that this cloud is pretty dark at the moment, and that as far as China is concerned, all they really want is your money. And I'm not prepared to give it all of my money, some of my money, but not all of my money, Brian.
Now, speaking of money, we've basically weathered through a huge storm with the banking sector. Calm seems to have re-emerged across the world. Is that crisis over, or is it just a pause before more storms?
Okay, a lot of people have been using that word crisis, and I'm guilty of it also. But I think it is less of a crisis and more of a stress. I think what has happened is that as the Federal Reserve started to increase interest rates and started to withdraw a lot of liquidity from the market, it caused stress in certain banks. And people were very quick to read across from Silicon Valley Bank, SVB, and said, oh, look, what's happened there will happen everywhere else. It's what they call the cockroach theory of investing, Brian. If you see one cockroach in your kitchen, it probably means that there are a lot more cockroaches out there. But I think in this particular case, there was just one cockroach. And this one cockroach, SVB, was pretty badly managed. It was pretty badly supervised by the regulators, and something happened at SVB. But thankfully, the regulators managed to bring out the Baygon and squirt the cockroach. And I think it has somehow managed to stop any kind of infection anywhere else. So is there a banking crisis? I think there will be stresses, Brian, because there is no doubt that as liquidity is withdrawn from the market, as interest rates start to increase, there are bound to be stresses. And it's no different to taking a twig from a tree. And you take the two ends of the twig and you bend it. In some cases, it will break. But where it will break, you have no idea. It could break in the middle. It could break on the left-hand side. It could break on the right-hand side. So I think that there will be problems. But where those problems are going to arise, I have no idea. And so therefore, if you are investing in banks, I would suggest that you invest in a portfolio of banks rather than say, this is the best bank I want to invest in. I'm going to put all my money into this one. And furthermore, I would say, don't just invest in banks. If you like the finance sector, there are other things that you can invest in as well. So you've got insurance companies out there. You've got fund managers, you've got stockbrokers, you've got stock exchanges. I mean, these are all part of the finance sector. So don't just focus on the banks. If your portfolio is too heavy in the banks, then I would say that you need to diversify a little bit more.
Now, on that note, David, thank you very much for your insights. Thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now, we've been speaking to David Kuo, a founder of the Smart Investor Singapore, on BizTech's Asian Midday Market Watch, powered by the Private Pension Administrator Malaysia, or PPA, which is the central administrator for private retirement schemes. I'm Brian Fernandez. This interview will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as our social media platforms. It'll also be on our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thanks a lot for tuning in.